Going to the parent-teacher conference, Shenzhou started the navigation as soon as he got in the car. I suddenly felt irritable. "Let's get divorced," he roared. "Just because I need navigation when I drive." Yes. You don't need navigation when you drive over 100 kilometers in the dark to deliver local specialties to your first love. Your daughter's school is less than 5 kilometers away, and you used navigation for ages, only to get the wrong address. "Jiangyu, are you sick?" Shenzhou was furious, pounding the steering wheel in disbelief. He snorted as if he had heard the biggest joke in the world. "You want to divorce me because I use navigation while driving? Did you shit your brains out this morning? Or did you leave them at your mom's house during Mid-Autumn Festival? Out of nowhere, you say you want a divorce because I use navigation. Who are you trying to make laugh?" I interrupted him. "Do you know which school your daughter is at?" He looked at the address he had just entered on the screen and was stunned. "Isn't it number 2 elementary school?" I chuckled softly. Suddenly, I feel so tired that even sighing feels exhausting in this cramped space. Shenzhou usually wouldn't bother with trivial matters like attending parent-teacher conferences. This time, it was because his daughter was about to enter junior high school, and the teacher required both parents to attend. Before leaving, I specifically told him that our daughter was at Sanshao Elementary School. He replied to the WeChat message with his head down and an impatient, "Oh." When going downstairs, he walked ahead on his own. That's how I saw his chat page with his first love. "Wang," she said. "Shenzhou Hui." My heart sank suddenly, a feeling of bitterness spreading throughout my body. Braving the heavy rain of a typhoon, driving over 100 kilometers in the opposite direction. I endured the pain of my period while vomiting from motion sickness until I was dizzy and disoriented, feeling like I was half dead. But he said it was just a small thing to do on the way. He pursed his lips, but the corners of his mouth still couldn't help but tell me. He also felt that this was a rather proud and happy little thing. Yesterday, when returning from his hometown, Wang Shi's mother casually asked if he could help bring something up. Knowing it's the opposite direction and not on the way, knowing there will be traffic jams, knowing it will be windy and rainy, knowing my daughter and I will get carsick and uncomfortable. Shenzhou agreed without even thinking. When I argued with him, he remained silent throughout, letting me scream and shout like a madwoman. In the end, he stood across from me and started to berate me. "Shrew, madwoman, inconsiderate, making trouble out of nothing." After labeling me with these accusations, he still loaded the things into the car. On the way back, he grumbled and criticized indirectly. I knew he was teaching me a lesson in this way, warning me not to disobey him next time. We finally made it off the highway, but it was already past 1 a.m. He drove me and my daughter home first, a 50-kilometer drive. Driving over 100 kilometers to deliver local specialties to his first love. I begged him to take me and our daughter home to rest first. He said, "Jiangyu, am I being too nice to you? Haven't you learned your lesson yet? The gifts won't be fresh if they're delivered late. Do you want to waste her mother's kindness? Besides, I'm the one driving, not you, so what are you being so dramatic about? If you're so capable, walk back yourself." I hugged my daughter and curled up in the back seat, not daring to say another word. When even my daughter's tearful pleas couldn't make Shenzhou turn the car around. I knew that if I said one more word, Shenzhou would definitely kick me out of the car. Outside, the typhoon howled, while inside the car, Shenzhou hummed a song, pleased and content. On this stormy night, he drove without hesitation in the opposite direction of home. Even though it was filled with various cured meats and pickled products that were far from fresh. Even though my daughter and I had already thrown up our bile. Even knowing that his daughter had to go to school at dawn. He still felt that delivering local specialties to Wang Shi was more important than anything else. The typhoon caused a lot of streetlights to be damaged. A dark, windy and rainy night, over 100 kilometers to the neighboring city. Shenzhou didn't even need to turn on the navigation. He drove the car right to the entrance of Wang Shi's building with precision. He even considerately told Wang Shi not to come downstairs in the heavy wind and rain. He parked, opened the door, and carried things upstairs, delivering them accurately without even asking for the apartment number. So familiar. as if he were returning to his own home. And his daughter's school was less than 5 kilometers from home, a place he passed every day on his way to and from work. But as soon as he got in the car, he started the navigation. After navigating for a long time, even the address was wrong. "My daughter is in the 5th grade. I said, "Don't you think it's a problem that you don't even know which school she's in?" Shinjo didn't have any extra emotions and blurted out angrily, "Isn't this your business? Is it not normal that I don't know?" His voice was loud, and he crossed his arms in front of his chest, ready to have a big fight with me. But I suddenly calmed down. I said calmly, "You always have a reason to say it's normal not to know which school your daughter attends, and it's normal not to know what grade she's in." But I stared at him, saying each word distinctly, "Don't tell me it's normal for you to find someone's home over 100 kilometers away without navigation. Shinjo, don't treat me like a fool you can manipulate at will." Shinjo suddenly flew into a rage, slamming the car keys in his hand against the car window. "I knew it. Jiangyu, I knew you were still holding on to this and angry with me. What's wrong with me giving someone a ride to drop off some things? Can't you just get over it? Don't try to smear me, and don't bring up the navigation or anything else. It's your problem, you're just not." The car window cracked, fissures spreading across it. It was on the verge of falling apart. It wasn't because I was stupid before, but because I still loved him. "I don't love you anymore. To me it's just SSO. Leaving is much easier than I thought." I started packing as soon as I got back from the parent-teacher conference. Seeing this, my daughter knew what I meant without me even having to say it. My daughter and I have an uncanny understanding. She packed her things and I packed mine. We were so in sync that we both picked out the good stuff, the expensive stuff, and left the old junk scattered all over the floor. After cleaning up, the already messy house became even messier. After delivering the things to Wang Shi last night, I didn't get home until 5 a.m. When I brought up the things I brought back from my hometown, I was already exhausted and felt frustrated looking at the messy house. Unable to bear the dirty mess with no place to step, I decided to clean up a bit first. But Shinjo complained that I was disturbing his sleep. He said, "What's the big deal if you finished this little bit of work tomorrow? What difference does it make? Do you have to put on this melodramatic show for me right now? All you do at home all day is tidy up this and tidy up that. Besides these trivial household matters, what else can you do? What else are you capable of? That's why I say you have a small mindset and are always nitpicking. How can you have a broad perspective when you're always focused on these domestic trifles?" Shinjo devalued me to nothing. In his view, these were all trivial matters he could see with his eyes closed or open. Doing these trivial things is called enjoying life in his eyes. Thanks to him, I haven't had the chance to enjoy this blessing yet. Now, looking at this messy home again, I feel no irritation at all. I calmly, coolly, and ruthlessly left this blessing for him. On the balcony, Shinjo's clothes were scattered by the wind, and I stepped on them as I passed by. The refrigerator is piled with all kinds of food that my mother-in-law insisted on bringing back yesterday. The various smells mixed together to emit a disgusting odor. I tried to close the refrigerator door several times but couldn't, so I simply left it open. In Shinjo's words, "What if it doesn't matter? What could happen?" The sink was full of Shinjo's discarded underwear and socks. I frowned. Too disgusting, I put a basin over him. Dragging my luggage and leaving with my daughter, I took one last look at this home. Inside, it was dirty, messy, and smelly. If it were the old me, it would have felt like the sky was falling. But now my heart is clear and clean. This feeling is something that even a spotless, perfectly organized home couldn't provide. I'm also absolutely certain that I will never come back to this home. As for Shinjo, let him enjoy his life. I rented a house with my daughter. It had already been a week since we settled in. Shinjo didn't contact me, so I knew he hadn't been home for the past week. Knowing his personality, he would never take the initiative to come home if I didn't admit my mistake. But I will never admit this mistake in my life. So when the neighbor called me to say that there was a stench coming from the house, I said, "I'm divorced from Shinjo. The house is his premarital property. Please contact him directly." This apartment was bought by Shinjo before our marriage, emptying out his family's savings. He said before we got married that he would add my name once the loan was paid off. Later, the loan was paid off, and Shinjo developed amnesia. Whenever I bring it up, he accuses me of being materialistic. In that case, why should I care about the stench in the house now? In the afternoon, while I was tidying up my resume, Shinjo called me. I habitually pressed the answer button. I was just feeling annoyed when Shinjo's almost hysterical roar came from the other end of the phone. "Jiangyu, where the hell have you been? The house stinks so bad the neighbors called the police. You better get your ass back here and clean it up. The house is full of the smell of rotting meat and all kinds of other stenches. If you don't come back and clean this up right now, you can forget about me ever adding your name to the property deed. Begging won't do you any good." Shinjo was cursing on the other end of the phone. The thought of him in that state of collapse, frenzy, and madness almost made me throw up. So he didn't have amnesia. Adding my name to the property certificate was, from beginning to end, a means for him to manipulate me. I couldn't help but laugh at myself mockingly. Shinjo was even angrier. "You can still laugh. You'll know how disgusting it is when you get back," I said calmly. "Didn't you say it doesn't matter if these little things at home aren't cleaned up? Didn't you say that doing housework at home is a blessing? Now you're enjoying the good fortune. What are you pretending to be disgusted for? Shouldn't you feel honored? You should thank me for letting you enjoy the good life too. Also," I said, enunciating each word, "since I'm divorcing you, I never plan to come back. You and your disgusting house, even if you begged me, I wouldn't want it." Only heavy breathing remained on the other end of the phone. I can imagine Shinjo's shock, his pupils dilating, followed by his face twisting in rage. After all, I was the one who proposed marriage to him. I chased him to his business trip location to beg him to cooperate in having a child. In his heart, I love him with all my life and cannot live without him. I can only beg him for charity, beg him to look at me more, to say a few more words to me. Divorce or not wanting him are words that could never come out of my mouth. The words that come out of my mouth can only be pleasant, flattering him. He can't stand those kinds of words the most. I wouldn't get anywhere trying to argue face to face. After all, no matter what I say, he can always find a way to humiliate me severely. Humiliating me until my face is red and I can't speak. Then he'll say, forget it, I can't be bothered to argue with you." With one simple sentence, he not only shifted the blame onto me, but also made himself seem magnanimous. I know him too well. So, as he prepared a speech of epic proportions to gaslight me, I hung up the phone first. I couldn't help but smile as I hung up the phone. My daughter said, "Mom, I haven't seen you smile in ages." Yes, it's been a long time since I laughed. In the past, every day I opened my eyes to endless housework and worries. Living without affirmation leaves me with an indescribable weariness every day. Occasionally, when I complain, Shinjo even blames me for not being considerate enough of him. He says, "You're just being dramatic. You're enjoying a comfortable life at home and still want me to coddle you? Can't you be considerate of how hard I work?" But no one has ever been considerate of me. No one understands the countless times I took my daughter to the hospital alone. No one understands the nights I stayed up for them, father and daughter. No one even understands that I am a person too. I also have emotions, I also get sick, and I also get tired. Shinjo chose to ignore everything. He felt that he was the breadwinner of the family, the pillar of the house. It was only natural for me to take care of him and be considerate of him. If I wanted him to take care of me and be considerate of me, then I was being insensible. He thinks I just pick up and drop off the kids and do some housework, and that I spend most of my time enjoying myself. He ignores the soup I make for him, and the light I leave on for him. He ignores the toilet he dirties countless times, and the socks he throws around. He ignores his perpetually clean and wrinkle-free shirts. "Mom, come quickly and see Dad, he's having a meltdown." My daughter's words snapped me back to reality. In the security footage, Shinjo was hopping around, covering his mouth and nose, howling and vomiting at the sight of the dirty and smelly house. Between retching against the wall, he didn't forget to stomp his feet and curse at me. The filthier he vomited, the filthier he cursed. He shouted my name, spewing out the ugliest and most unbearable words in the world. After cursing, he said, "I don't believe the earth will stop spinning without you." He hired an hourly worker. That woman threw up as soon as she got to the door and waved her hands repeatedly, saying, "You should find someone else. I really can't earn this money." The woman left, and he started calling me like crazy again, trying to call me back, this free babysitter, to clean up his mess. I muted the phone and placed it face down on the table. I watched him kick the door, watched him smash his phone, watched him beat his hand until it bled. I calmly watched him go crazy, just like he used to, humming a tune while reading. I belatedly realized. No wonder he was humming a tune in the car that day. So people can't help but hum a tune when they are happy. When I saw him slip and fall into the blood that had flowed out of the refrigerator, I turned off the surveillance. In the end, I wasn't interested at all in how he cleaned up that house. In my heart, he's now just like that stench. Disgusting to even get near. But some people, the more you think they stink, the more they want to hang around you. I found a job. The salary isn't high, but it's enough to support my daughter and me. More importantly, no one will put me down or negate me in my ear, even if I often have to ask others at the company how to do this or that. But no one has ever called me as stupid as a pig. Those handsome young men even compliment me every time. "Wow, you're amazing. You learned it after only being taught once." With my daughter boarding at school, I also have time to be alone. No more endless housework, no more of that man who would drag me into endless internal conflict. I became more cheerful and loved to laugh, and my emotions stabilized. But after only a few days of work, Shunjo called me again. This time his tone was more restrained. But as soon as he opened his mouth, it was that familiar PUA vibe. "Jiangyu, what's the big deal? Do you have to make such a scene with me? I'm really baffled. I don't even know what you're upset about. Is it about me wanting to use navigation to go to our daughter's school? Or about me giving Wangxi local specialties? If it's about me wanting to use navigation, then there's nothing I can do. It's your husband who's directionally challenged. If it's about sending local specialties to Wangxi, then you're even more wrong. We're all neighbors, and you're being unreasonable by making such a fuss over helping to deliver something. Even if Wangxi and I used to date, that's in the past. If there was really something going on between us, I wouldn't have brought you along. If you still misunderstand me, I'm so wronged. That's just how Shunjo is. He never thinks he's wrong. Even knowing he's wrong, he can always find a reason to excuse himself. If I argue with him, he disguises himself as the victim and blames everything on me. And then, no matter how crazy I get, he will never respond again. "Are you done?" I said impatiently. "I keep your number to discuss divorce and divide the property, not for you to lecture me." I was just about to hang up when Shunjo got anxious. "Wait, I'm not here to lecture you. It's just that I left the materials for today's meeting at home. Hurry up and bring them to me." He specifically stated, "It's very important. Whether I get a promotion and raise this year depends on this. Hurry up." Listening to his commanding tone, I couldn't help but chuckle. Meaning, he has to lecture me before asking for my help. This isn't the first time he's left important documents at home. No matter the weather, I never received a word of thanks for delivering things to him. He would look at my flustered and disheveled appearance with disdain, accusing me of embarrassing him by not paying attention to my image. If I expressed feeling wronged, he would dismiss it as just a casual remark. But if I argued, he would stand on the moral high ground and accuse me of dwelling on the past and holding grudges. Just thinking about it makes me angry. I've really been too nice to you. Today, I'm really going to settle the old scores and get my revenge. Got it? I said, I'll do it as soon as possible. My usual answer satisfied Shunjo. He rarely said to me, "Be careful on the road." After hanging up the phone, I made myself a cup of coffee and sat down. There was air conditioning in the office, as well as snacks and fruits from my colleagues. Every now and then, some eye-pleasing young lads call me sister. I must be out of my mind to deliver the documents to you. Traffic. Are you a pig? Can't you ride a scooter? I'm warning you, this meeting is very important to me. You have to get here on time, even if you have to crawl. I replied, okay. After eating another small cake and drinking a cup of milk tea. He asked again. 3 minutes passed. I replied. After a few seconds, he said. I replied. The next second, Shinjo's phone rang. Jiangyu, do you know you've ruined me? I did it on purpose, I said. He roared in anger. I hung up the phone, took a deep breath. Strangely, the sense of satisfaction from revenge was fleeting. What remained was they looked at me with their heads held high, as if I were an idiot. A woman's intuition told me. Wangxi was waiting for me to throw a tantrum and be annoying, so she could reap the benefits of Shinjo. And Shinjo was waiting for me to say I understand. I was wrong, I'm sorry, let's go home. I originally thought Shinjo had asked me out to discuss a divorce. But now it seems he's still not clear-headed enough. I also know that I can't win an argument against the two of them. I picked up the cup and splashed it over. The two of them were caught off guard and got a face full. Are you awake now? I'm not here to watch you act or listen to your excuses. Shinjo jumped up, instinctively using his hand to protect Wangxi. Jiangyu, what the hell do you want? I want a divorce. I think you've lost your mind. Wangxi has come in person to explain and apologize to you. What else do you want? Me? I let out a cold laugh. Is this an explanation or an apology? Am I some kind of despicable person? But it doesn't matter anymore. I don't want to argue with him about right and wrong. I don't need it, I just want a divorce. Shinjo was stunned, his expression changing several times. I said, I just want to get away from you. My attitude enraged Shinjo, and he glared at me and shouted, Divorce? Whoever doesn't is a dog. Shinjo's expression changed several times, and he put on the cold and violent face he used with me, saying, You're the one who wants a divorce, don't even think about pushing the blame onto me. If you really want a divorce, I won't give you anything. He stared at me, saying each word slowly and deliberately, including custody of our daughter. Shinjo knows that my daughter is my life. For my daughter, not to mention being a dog, I would give my life if needed. Seeing me clench my fist, afraid of losing her, Shinjo turned back to Wangxi with a smug smile and said, Look, someone wants to be a dog. Okay, I said, I'll leave with nothing. Hearing this, Shinjo suddenly looked at me, an expression of disbelief on his face. His face was like an overturned palette, white then red then green. Even her voice trembled slightly. What did you say? I had already done the math. He proactively buys gifts and transfers money to my parents during holidays. That's why I've been able to put up with him for so many years. I roughly calculated that he has less than 200,000 in his hands at most. And although I haven't worked for so many years, I usually write novels and draw illustrations, and my savings are already more than his. Spending his money all these years, I've saved the money I earned myself. Regarding the custody of our daughter, she has already communicated with me about it. She urged me not to compromise on her custody. She said that where the custody lies is not important. What matters is that she has long legs now. Our daughter also said that she has to stay with her father, so she can inherit the estate in the future. In that case, what else do I have to worry about? I just want to get divorced from Shinjo as soon as possible. I just want to live for myself properly for once. I said, You can have custody of our daughter, and consider my half of the savings as alimony for her. After hearing my words clearly, Shinjo's expression gradually stiffened, his mouth slightly open, unable to speak for a long time, until Wangxi nudged him with her elbow. Did you hear that? She said she's leaving with nothing. Seeing that Shinjo was still unresponsive, as if his soul had been taken away, Wangxi pushed him directly. No, you don't actually want to be a dog, do you? My breath hitched, and I subconsciously took 2 steps back. I know that Shinjo doesn't want to divorce me. After all, no one can do for him, for his family, what I have done. Shinjo was quite clear about this. What Shinjo has always wanted is, the red flag at home stands tall, while colorful flags flutter outside. He even brought Wang Shi to appear before me today, specifically to tell me that there was no real infidelity between him and Wang Shi. He couldn't bring himself to coax me, hoping that with a little hint, I would, as before, shamelessly coax him to come home. But he didn't expect that I would even give up custody of my daughter. Fortunately, I had Wang Shi, my divine helper, today. I followed her lead and provoked Shenzhou. Right, you wouldn't be thinking of begging me like a dog not to leave, would you? Shenzhou snapped back to reality and said through gritted teeth. Divorce. Immediately. Right now. Divorce. Drafting the divorce agreement, signing it, submitting the application, all done in one go. More than a decade of marriage ended in less than an hour. Holding the receipt, I secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Once the 30-day cooling-off period is over, we can get the marriage certificate. When we came out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, Shenzhou's face was extremely gloomy. It was in stark contrast to Wang Shi's radiant appearance. I smiled, looking at Wang Shi's smug expression. Thank you for today. Wang Shi, not understanding, was so shocked that her back molars were exposed. As I turned to leave, she laughed loudly and said to Shenzhou, Haha, that idiot. She actually thanked me. In the corner of my eye, I caught Shenzhou's expression. There was resentment, anger, and a stubborn refusal to bow his head, his teeth clenched tight. And a hint of regret, forcibly suppressed. I knew he understood what I meant by thanking Wang Shi. He also knew who the real fool was. I thought it was the end of me and Shenzhou. But the peace I longed for did not come. What followed, even though it's clearly Shenzhou's fault. But in the end, I'm the one whose temper gets worse, and I'm the one who doesn't want to live a good life anymore. Even my parents are no exception. He was sure of this point. He was also certain that I would compromise for the sake of my elderly parents' health. But I don't want to compromise for anyone anymore. I retorted a few times and hung up the phone. Perhaps because my parents were involved, I remained unmoved. Shenzhou changed his approach and sent me a WeChat message. Jiangyu, your parents are getting old and their health isn't good. You shouldn't talk back to them like that. I didn't reply. He's at it again. Don't mean anything else, I'm just asking because you're a mother of a daughter. Looking at the WeChat messages he sent one after another, I felt both annoyed and amused. Before, whenever I sent him a WeChat message, he would only reply, okay. 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 I forgot the last time he sent me this many words. Amidst the screen full of okay, and okay, these few sentences stood out jarringly. Just like his sarcastic concern, it makes me feel disgusted just looking at it. If he had just swallowed his pride and openly tried to win me back, I would have respected him as a real man. But he just wouldn't. After several inquiries, he found where I worked. When he saw me walking out, chatting and laughing with a male colleague, his face turned as black as charcoal. His gaze was like poison-tipped nails piercing into me. So this is the reason you want to divorce me? After gesturing for my male colleague to leave, I smiled. I shrugged, mimicking how he used to respond to me, and said, if that's what you think, then so be it. If that's how you want to see it, there's nothing I can do. Shenzhou was choked by my words. The more I listened, the more familiar the words became. The wider I opened my mouth, the more surprised I was. He stiffened his neck, but couldn't say a word. This was the first time he was speechless in front of me. However, someone else spoke the words he didn't say. Wang Shi didn't know where she came from. Jiangyu, you shameless hussy. You're the one hooking up with other men, and you're trying to throw dirt on us. Despicable and shameless. Born a cheap slap. I interrupted her with a slap, and replied to her with 2 words. Reflect. Before she could react, I slapped her on the right cheek as well. With both sides of her face red, they were finally symmetrical. I said, first, I've been vaccinated against rabies, so your trick won't work on me. Second, it's none of your business how I do things. If you don't like me, you can die before I do. Third, never mind with your brain. I'm afraid you won't remember if I say too much. Wang Shi's mouth twisted with anger, as she puffed up like a toad and lunged at me. Just now, Shenzhou, who was still invisible, suddenly stuck out a leg and tripped her. Wang Shi, you're really enough. When did you become like this? It's simply unreasonable. Do you know that you're especially annoying like this? Jiangyu is my wife, it's none of your business to criticize. When those familiar words rang in my ears again, I found it amusing. I never expected Shenzhou to stand on my side one day. He unleashed all the insults he once hurled at me onto Wang Shi. Wang Shi lay on the ground, shocked, furious, acting like a spoiled child, and rolling around. Shenzhou, you heartless bastard. Wang Shi sprang up from the ground, ready to pounce on Shenzhou for a major showdown. Clearly, her target wasn't me, but Shenzhou subconsciously gripped my hand and pulled me into a frantic run. No matter how hard I tried to shake him off, I couldn't. He only stopped when we were far enough that Wang Shi couldn't catch up. He was panting heavily, still not letting go of my hand. Even a relieved smile appeared on his face. He said, "Jiangyu, look. I tripped her for you, abandoned her for you. Now you know I love you, right?" He looked at me expectantly like a child wanting praise. As if this was something particularly worthy of praise. I pried his hand open and laughed in exasperation. "Shenzhou, can you stop acting? If you have even an ounce of conscience, let's just break up amicably." "But why? Haven't we been doing well all these years?" "Yes, I admit that sometimes I speak harshly and don't consider your feelings. Sometimes, for the sake of face, I haven't put you first. I am a bit of a chauvinist. I've never taken care of things at home or our daughter's affairs. But you can't divorce me just because I needed navigation to go to our daughter's school." I sighed heavily. I knew it. He knew everything and understood everything. He just felt like I was a crow he kept in a cage. Not bothering to care, not bothering to pay attention. Even now, he still thinks I want to divorce him because of the navigation incident. In this situation, and with things having been said to this extent, I thought he would lower his head and admit he was wrong just once. Unexpectedly, he said, "It's all your fault. You're the one who doesn't communicate with me, doesn't talk to me." It was almost instantaneous. I was speechless to the point of laughing. "Shenzhou, do you have any shame?" I took out my phone and opened the chat history with him. This shirt was bought for him by me, saving every penny back then. I watched the boy wear it, cheering and excitedly hugging him, praising how handsome he looked. We promised each other we'd be together forever, never to be apart. I know he's trying to awaken my memories, to give him another chance for the sake of our original promise. But I only find his cautious, breathless demeanor to be utterly ridiculous. I didn't answer him. He silently lowered his head, which he had never been willing to lower before. With this bow, the buttons on his shirt popped open and scattered on the ground. He hurriedly covered his belly. I took the divorce certificate, got up, and left. He watched me leave, finally whispering the 3 words, "I'm sorry." But I pretended not to hear and strode away. I no longer care about your embarrassment, nor am I willing to look at you again. After the divorce, I felt like I had been reborn. My breasts no longer hurt, and my period became regular. My daughter's grades kept improving, and my work became increasingly smooth. On the contrary, Shenzhou's work and life took a nosedive. The leader was already dissatisfied with him because of the last incident with the data. After the divorce, he was mentally distraught and made several mistakes. So the company fired him. When my daughter told me about it, it was like listening to a stranger's story. Smiling faintly, occasionally responding with an "oh." My daughter also said, "Wang Shi harasses Shenzhou every day. When Shenzhou refuses to see her, she smashes the door and pins Shenzhou to the ground, questioning him about why he didn't marry her even after the divorce." The two got into a physical fight. Shenzhou beat Wang Shi into a vegetative state. Wang Shi's family crippled one of Shenzhou's legs and demanded that he contribute money and effort to take care of Wang Shi, who had become a vegetable. In this lifetime, the two of them finally successfully tied the knot. Hearing this, I felt both gratified and fortunate. Shenzhou finally has no time to bother me. I smiled and continued with my work, my daughter chattering away. I didn't pay attention to many of the things she said, but I heard her last sentence clearly. She said, "Mom, Dad doesn't need navigation to come see me anymore." I scratched the tip of her nose and said, "Because you're in his heart. He keeps you in his heart. Even if you go to the ends of the earth, he can find you without navigation. Conversely, even if you are right in front of him, he might not be able to find you even with navigation. My daughter looked up and smiled. Mom, where did you learn all these principles from? I looked at the sun in the distance, which had finally managed to break through the dark clouds, and said, From the grave. Haha, the end.